Yo, welcome back to another episode of Beeks Corner. It's your boy Beeks, and I'm back in the building. You know the routine. We're out here, we're rolling, and we are moving. Guys, I've got a special guest. I've been following my man for the longest. And the thing is, I've been like saying, look, we need to do a show, and this is the time. And I'm so happy I've got my man on, a fellow United fan. Man like Usmaan, what are you telling them, man? What are you saying, man?
I'm good, man. Obviously, it could be better. Seeing all our rivals making big moves. Our team's still just dead with FC and that, innit? So interesting times for my United fans.
I am stressed. I've never been so stressed. It's like I said off air. I'm just been waiting. I ain't tweeted anything about transfers for Man United. I see everyone doing their moves, especially Chelsea as well. Who I think I don't know what. Do you know what it is? I'm looking at them and I'm thinking, all right, cool. You're getting these players like Kai Havertz. Looks like they might get Thiago Silva as well, which I feel like is a shrewd signing. It'd be good for them if Lampard plays a free at the back. You just put Thiago Silva in the centre like they did when I think it was under Conte and David Luiz. Right. So I think it could work out. I think that's a shrewd signing. Then he got Timo Werner. Ziyech, I'm thinking, bro, what's going on, bro? Like, do you feel like there's a lot of pressure?
Well, man.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, this is just too much. I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, all right, cool. What's Chelsea's ambition next season, man? Is it the title or is it top four? I mean, you have to look at this. This is the title, man. You can't, for me, if I'm seeing them signings, you can't just settle for top four, bro. You can't do that, man. And I know it's a stretch. I know you got Liverpool and City, but this is Roman we're on about. He's the one that's purchasing these players, isn't it? At the end of the day. So his ambition is, I want the title now. So what do you think the ambition is for Lampard? What do you think the target is for next season with all these players that's coming in?
Yeah, no, first and foremost, like the signings that they made, fair play to them and fair play to the Roman. They didn't really, obviously they didn't make any signings last season. So we need to take that into consideration. They've not really spent much money. So that kind of has rolled on to this year. But in terms of ambition, I've actually gone for a bit for wild card. Yeah, I think Lampard might get sacked first. I know people are going to kill me in the comments. I'm explaining it. But the reason, I'm not saying he will get sacked, but I think of all the managers, including Oli, Arteta, Lampard, etc., Lampard is under the most pressure now because those kind of signings, like you just mentioned, if you're making them kind of signings, you need to be in the mix with Liverpool and Man City. People are going to say, how are they going to make that kind of ground within one season? But look, Chelsea done it in the past. You've seen under Conte, Man had one season, came in. You can name so many managers that have just come in and done a job one season, bang, got the trophy. Diego Costa and Fabregas were a couple of signings. They came in and won the trophy. So these guys haven't made signings. These are world-class players, man. Werner, Ziyech, and Kai Havertz, right? Under Frank Lampard, who is arguably the best attacking mid, in the history of the game.
It's a great return.
For him to be teaching Havertz, that ability to get into the box, that third man running to the box, you can't learn from a better player, really. The only one I can think of is that Muller on that sort of ilk at the moment. But for me personally, they have to be challenging. And the reason I'm saying that he's going to be under a lot of pressure is because Roman sacked Jose twice. I think people are forgetting how ruthless this guy is. He's bringing in the mans, and I respect him. You've got to respect him. He's got ambition, but this guy sacked Jose Mourinho his first tenure without even hesitation, man. He sacked him, the most successful manager, and Lampard's not going to have any sort of luxury. Exactly. If he has a couple of maybe 2 bad games, 3 bad games with not the greatest results, the fans won't get on his back. I'm not saying the fans will turn on, but Roman's going to be starting. Exactly. But Roman's going to be sat there thinking, you know what? Pochettino's available. I know Allegri might be going into Milan. It seems that's a given, but he's going to be looking at other managers available. So for me, Lampard has to get off to a fly. Otherwise, he's going to be in trouble early doors for me.
It's interesting that you said that, because I never really thought of it outside of that perspective. Because you've literally just said actually one of the smartest things I've heard for a long time.
I'll pay you later.
He's like Lampard. He's on the ropes. So when you mention the names of Pochettino, Allegri, bro, you know what?
Big managers, man.
I'm gonna say listen. Anyone that wants to come at us in the comments, fuck it. I don't really care. It is what it is.
Someone's gonna say I'm trying. I'm not slagging him off. I'm not saying
no. You're not slagging him off. And I think if people are trying to say you're slagging him off, then that's for them, innit? They can take it as they want to take it. But you've literally just stated the facts, bro. There's a lot of pressure there. Bar Man City and Liverpool, United haven't even spent a dime yet.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And City, Chelsea are pumping so much money, like as if like they want the Premier League. And fair dues, they want, they got ambition there. But bro, you know what? I'm with you. I actually feel if things don't start going their way, and I think their first fixtures are they're all right.
I've not checked you off the top of my head. I'm not gonna lie.
Off the top of my head, I remember when I looked at it, I went, no, it's not that bad. But no, do you know what? I couldn't agree. I have to agree with you, man. I think Lampard is slightly on the ropes. But if we're talking about Lampard, what about Arteta then? Like, I mean, I think
regarding Arteta, I've said something similar to a lot of the lads that support Arsenal. I know a lot of Arsenal fans, and I've got to respect him as well. To be fair, in terms of they've not turned on Arteta at all, even when he's had a couple of bad games. Because for once, they've actually seen it as this is the project. You've got to have a bit of patience. However, similar to Lampard, but not to the extent of Lampard. And this is the same for Oli as well. I'm not saying Oli's. We all know Oli's going to be under stupid amount of pressure. But regarding Arteta, last season they lost to Brighton twice. Brighton did the double over him the first time in their history, if I'm not mistaken. If that happens this season, if he starts losing to games, games against Brighton, Crystal Palace, people are going to start to raise an eyebrow, and that's just how football is. Whether he's going to be under that much pressure remains to be seen. But for me personally, Arteta, his character is going to come into play this time because he lost his game against Brighton. A couple of the teams I shouldn't have lost to against Olympiacos as well in the Europa League. The ramifications of the losses wasn't as significant as it's going to be if it happens this season, basically. So it'll be interesting to see his character because we've not really seen him having to come back because he's not really had any pressure. No one's, he came in at 8th, he finished 8th. No one's really called for his head, rightfully so, obviously. But, a couple of games come December, and if he starts signing 8th again, potentially, or hypothetically speaking, Arsenal fans, they're like, they're not going to be calling for his head, but they're going to start questioning, his philosophy, etc.
Don't be surprised. A few will call for his head.
There's always a few delusional fans out there, and Man Utd got loads of them.
We got loads.
We've got too many, man. You guys take some of ours, man. By all means.
But Arteta, it's true what you're saying. But Arteta, the thing is, I look at that and I think, all right, cool. Their ambition right now, their target's obviously to get back into the Champions League. Yeah. I think, me personally, I think them winning the FA Cup, great and that and whatnot, that's fantastic. But then going back into Europa League is slightly some sort of a hinder to their season. I always feel like Europa League is so pointless, bruv. Especially if you are not trying to go for if you're going for top 4, it's pointless. Like for example, when United, we got top 3. I don't know how straight. It just happened. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I remember I come on there and I said, bro, as far as I'm concerned, I think it was one of my boys. He went, you shouldn't. I know what you mean, as if I don't care, but it should hurt you a little bit more because you went to the semi-final. But in hindsight, I'm saying it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, it's a trophy. I understand that, but coming from Man United, from what we've seen over the years, all we know is Champions League, Premier League. Yeah. That's what we know, bro. So why am I going to settle for less? Because that's going to get me top 4. That's going to get me Champions League. I don't really care about that. So if Arsenal have to see it from that perspective and say, look, this Europa League thing, should we even just dump out? Should we just get out of it quickly so we could just focus on top 4? Because let's be real, that's the real ambition. To be fair, they've got 2 options. If they're flopping in the league, go for Europa League. And if the league is going well, then just focus on the league. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because there's going to be so many games. We experienced it. How many games did Man United play? I don't even think if it weren't for Corona, I don't even think we would have got top 4.
I agree. Serious. I don't think we would have got top 4.
I think it played out. It favoured us. And with Arsenal, I don't even know if it favoured them or some sort. I mean, they got a few runs. I mean, like you said, they lost to like Brighton and whatnot. But at the end, they got the trophy. But I'm just looking at it from Arsenal perspective. Arsenal fans, you might say something else, but I'm just saying that Europa League thing is quite long, man. I really hate that competition.
Yeah, it's very long. Just first and foremost, regarding us in the competition, I think, we haven't won the Champions League for 12 years, let's be real, innit?
Yeah.
We always say to Arsenal, they've not won the league for God knows how many years, it's the same for us. We've not won the Champions League for 12 years. We've not been competitive for at least 11 to 10 years in the Champions League. A lot of United fans got gassed over that PSG win, but it didn't mean nothing. We got slapped by Barca the round after, you know what I mean? So regarding the Europa League, it is disappointing that we didn't win it for numerous reasons. First and foremost, it would have been Ollie's first major trophy at the club, obviously, and also just in his career as well. You can say what you want about his other accomplishments, but none of them really mean much in terms of his credentials or his pedigree. So, even as a player who's potentially coming to Man United, you see us win the Europa League. Do you think, fair play, there's a project there. Granted, it's not the creme de la creme, but at least it's something to show for. At the end of the day, you don't get a trophy for finishing top four. Although that is what we wanted, to move forward. We needed Champions League football. But if someone was to say to me, you get the Europa League trophy, or you finish sixth, or you get third, and you obviously you don't win the Europa League, I would have taken the trophy. Because. Yeah, no, not because it's an amazing trophy, but because it's something for him to show for the progression, and again, it does get a Champions League football anyway, so I don't see why you wouldn't take it. Coming back to your points regarding Arsenal, I don't think they should sack it off. I think the Europa League actually, I think people need to put a bit more respect on it, not as a competition. Yeah. But in terms of as a club, like for example, as an Arsenal, even Man Utd, as we currently are, it's a perfect opportunity to play those young players and give them opportunities to get good experience under the belt first and foremost. And look at Greenwood, man. I suppose Aguero to example, but Greenwood in particular, a lot of his goals are in the Europa League, and I think people can't diminish the importance of confidence that breeds in a player. For example, Greenwood scores a brace, say, on a Thursday. He's more likely to do something on a Sunday coming off the bench because, he's got that confidence of bagging a couple of goals. So I think confidence is a big thing in Europa League, especially when you're playing against poor teams. Hypothetically speaking, Arsenal, I don't know if they're playing someone, and I don't know, it's any team in that they should be beating most. The lesser players in the team, the squad players, so to speak, playing in the Europa League, doing well week in, week out in the Europa League, it only breeds confidence for them, and obviously it gives them opportunity to play the youngsters. Like the guys that Willock and that, they're not going to get a chance to play otherwise, Yeah. And I think in that sense, we're not at Man City's and Liverpool's level, so I don't think we can disregard a trophy when we're not, hypothetically speaking, us in the Champions League right now. Yeah. We're not really going to be competing for it. Let's be real. We always take the piss out of the teams, but we are making up the numbers. Let's be honest, and a miraculous run. Yeah. So I think we've got to put a bit more respect because of where we currently are. Obviously, if you're comparing it to our history, then obviously the Europa League is nothing to us. But in terms of where we currently are, we've got to be realistic and not be arrogant and think we're United.
I think that's what I'm probably basing it off because of our history and whatnot. And the type of caliber of club, like we're not just an ordinary club. I mean, this is United, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? And then to see us competing for that, I understand where you're coming from. Your points are more or less valid. I'm just saying it from a perspective of growing up and then watching us compete for the great ones, and then we're having to.
Well, I didn't know people played football on Thursday. Put it that way, growing up. I didn't know. I genuinely know he was being arrogant. I didn't know that was a thing.
Honestly, it's just one of them things. I used to think, Thursday, cool. Back in the day, remember when Europa League used to be on Channel 5?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I didn't know it existed.
So it was just one of them things. So I get I understand what in that perspective, in hindsight, I understand why you said, we might more or less have to put respect on it. So, no, fair play. As for Arsenal fans, I'm not here. You guys that watch my channel.
Don't go for the Arsenal fans. They're going to be killed.
You know what it is? I'm brave. I'm a brave person, innit? But,
you are.
Shout out to them. I think they're signing Gabriel, isn't it? Yeah, they're signing Gabriel from.
Yeah, they've signed Gabriel, yeah.
Right. So, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, that's great. And I'm going to sit here and tell you, man to man, right? Bro, I've never seen YouTube compilations, bro. Do you understand what I'm saying? I've gone on, them ones there, you don't really know a player. Let me go on quick YouTube. Let me see his stats.
Yeah.
What's it called? Scout Nation and them, man. They're the ones that do. So I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, all right, cool. He looks all right. How old is he? 21. And I'm thinking, all right, cool. That's sick. And a lot of these Arsenal fans, when I'm speaking to them, it's like they've watched him since he was about 6 or 7 years old. They know what he's
standards.
And I'm just thinking, bro, listen, just admit, you've never seen him, but he looks good, and it's good for the future. I mean, they've got him, and they've got William Saliba as well. That's perfect. That's great. But if you're telling me that them two are going to be starting as well, great. That's fine, because just know they're going to make a few mistakes. This is the Premier League. This ain't no French league, G. It's not. This is the Prem. So it's fast paced. Do you understand what I'm saying? Ask Pepe. Ask them about Pepe. It took Pepe a long.
It's taken him a while.
It's taken him a while. So it's just for him to get into. And I'm not slating Pepe, because I think I've slated Pepe in the past, right? As Banks, innit? But I know for a fact, once he's settled in, it's going to be kind of a problem. And I don't...
No, he's a good player, man. I like him, technically.
And he's really, really good. And, you know, it's just one of them things. But back to Gabriel and then, man, I just feel like they're gassing him a lot, too much. And there's a possibility of there's going to be a bit of a disappointment if he doesn't perform. You know, we all know how Arsenal fans are. You know,
Arsenal fans, mate, they were, if I'm not mistaken, by all means, feel free to correct me, but Arsenal fans were raving about Holding and Chambers coming back. They kept alluding to the fact that, Holding and Chambers are injured. You know, that's why defence isn't good. We're having to deal with X, Y, and Z. Wait until Holding and Chambers come back. And as soon as man's come back, they still look shit, basically, at the back. So these man, then reality hit them, and they thought, you know what, we've been gassing these guys too much. You know, Guendouzi as well, another player that Arsenal fans have been loading like he's the next big thing. You know, as soon as the shit hits the fan, none of them rate him all of a sudden. So, you know,
they just need to be very, very careful. That's the way I see it, man. I mean, they do this with every signing, and I just feel like
standard.
Take it easy,
they're raving about David Luiz as well. Don't forget, man. I know a lot of Arsenal fans that were messaging me saying, "Oh, we won the transfer window. We won the transfer window." When you finished flipping 8th, mate, you didn't win shit. There was no transfer window.
What FA Cup? They could turn around to us.
We didn't win shit. Sorry,
we didn't win shit. They could turn around to us and say, FA Cup.
Right.
You know, fair play to them, David Luiz. Bruv, at the end of the day, I would expect them to be. I know Arsenal fans were confident. They were confident that they were going to finish above Man United anyway. They were
saying that we're going to finish 6th. They're going to finish 4th. So it is what it is. But look, they're gonna. Arsenal fans in your comments are going to say, "Oh, look at these United fans celebrating top 4." Man, I ain't celebrating no top 4. All I'm saying is that if someone said to me, "You got Champions League football next season," or you win an FA Cup and Europa League, mate, I would have taken Champions League, not because I don't want trophies, but because I know to progress as a club, you need Champions League football. It's as simple as that, mate.
It's about the pulling power. It's about attracting the players. Once you're in Champions League, that's what happens, man. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's not just about playing in the Champions League. Right now, I'm a bit terrified going into Champions League next season because
I don't want to think about it.
I'm just praying, please. Don't give us any group of death or anything like that. I ain't got time for that, man.
We do well against good teams, though, to be fair. You're saying that, you know, our record's been fantastic against top 6. You know, we love a part of the bus and counter-attack, innit?
I think the only one we didn't win was, I think it was Liverpool.
I don't think we'd be Arsenal, you know, actually, and I don't think about it.
But to be fair, they weren't top 6 last season, so I can't really count them.
To be fair, we have struggled against the shitter teams in the league, innit? So
well, there you go. There you go. But all jokes aside, sorry, Arsenal fans, don't really come for me. But yeah,
they're coming for my neck.
I'm just saying, bruv. Like, all jokes aside, I feel like Arsenal might. They're gonna improve next season. They'll improve. They'll finish in a much better position than
7th.
We'll take that. You said 7. I never said it.
It depends on the banter aside, obviously, but it depends on the signing. And look, at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to finish in top 4 as it stands, because we've signed nobody, and at least Arsenal signing someone. So,
all right, what do you think? Do you think we're signing Sancho? Do you think that's going to happen?
Well, I was just listening to reports of Sky. I suppose, obviously, as we know, Sky aren't the most credible of sources anymore. But it's just interesting to hear about the Sancho situation. It's quite black and white, to be honest. Really, they just want 105 million pounds or 120 million euros. Yeah, it's 120 million euros, which equates to about 105, give or take. Yeah. So that's they've literally put it on the table and said, look, if you give us the money, you've got him. He's agreed personal terms according to Romano and a lot of other credible journalists. So I believe that is fact. It's just a matter of us showing that ambition. It just depends on Woodward, man. A lot of United fans, including myself, have just gotten to the point now we're just fed up, because at the end of the day, you know, rival fans will say, "Oh, you lot spend X, Y, and Z on Maguire, yada yada yada." But you got to remember, we make so much money every year, and we've got Champions League football, so we get revenue from that as well. So it's not us complaining.
We're entitled to spend.
Exactly, man. It's our money. It's not like And a lot of people say, oh, look, these guys spent X, Y, and Z from 2014. Yeah, but that's got nothing to do with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He hasn't spent 700, whatever the figure is.
No, it's not.
He hasn't spent all of that. Do you know what I mean? He spent 150 million, and everyone he's bought, for me personally, has been a success. You know, Dan James, you could argue he hasn't, but he's 21 from Swansea, man.
I think Dan James gets a lot of stick. And
it's 15 million from Swansea.
Yeah, and how many games did he play this season? I'm sure he's never played that much. That amount of games in one season for him. It's at that high level as well.
So just coming back to the Sancho thing, regarding if you sign him, I think this is going to send a message out to the fans if you don't sign him, because if you don't sign him, we're not going to sign him next year, that's for sure. But it just comes down to the board, because literally everything else is, all the lines are dotted. It's just the go ahead from the Glazers or whoever else is in charge, the Sancho and the deal. So for me personally, get it done, man. Look, he's 19. He's going to be here potentially for at least 5 years, of course, maybe 10 years if he loves the club. Of course, he'd probably want to stay in England anyways. So you're looking at the future. That is our future. We've got Rashford on one wing. We've got Sancho on the other one. We've got Martial, average of literally 21, I think it is, maybe. 21, 22, average age, with Greenwood as a backup. That's the future of the club there. You don't need to touch that for years to come. So for me personally, it's a no-brainer, man. Just get it done.
It is the future. I mean, I'm looking at that, and obviously when we talk about Greenwood, I've lauded this guy from the academy days, man. I remember I used to speak to someone about work, and I was like, look, there's one guy, Greenwood, and he was like, yeah. I was like, yeah.
Do people slagging you off it out?
They're like, who's this guy? I remember one guy went, he looks like a Martial 3.0. I was like, yo, guys, come on, man. Remember he had a high top and whatnot. Once he shaved that off, I said, yeah, it's Greenwood season now, boy.
Legit, man.
Left, right, header, it don't matter, bro. The guy has got all the tools, the artillery. The guy is something that I'm happy about. I'm happy that he's part of our project. He's what we've produced, innit? Do you understand what I'm saying? So
yeah, I said something regarding Greenwood. It's a bit out there, to be fair. But in terms of raw talent, he's probably the best player we've had since Ronaldo or Rooney, for me personally. Because obviously he's 18 for start. I think he's 19 actually. But we need to take into consideration how ridiculous his talent is. Both feet is very good in close, tight areas as well. He's not. One thing I've noticed about him is there's a few games they scored important goals, but he does not seem fazed by the situation. Some people go in hiding. This guy doesn't hide at all, man. He wants the ball, man. He's not scared. We're 1-0 down. It's a pressured game. This guy, he's got no emotion, man. He's a cold-blooded killer. I'm telling you, he don't care, man.
That's what we want, man. That's exactly what we want. And back in the day when we had Rooney, obviously we got him from Everton, but Rooney was something else. But like you said, I ain't seen anything like that since Rooney and Ronaldo.
Bro, man. Right and left foot, man. His technique is exactly the same. You can't even tell the difference.
Yeah, you ask him, what's your favorite? Like, what foot do you prefer? He says, I don't know, bro.
Legit, man. It's madness.
It's just bro, what's going on? But no, that he's the future. Whether I see him playing up front, I don't know, man. It's just one of them things, isn't it? But the way Ollie's managing him, I credit to him. But if we're going to talk about Ollie, what are you, Ollie in or Ollie out, man? People need to know, man.
Yeah, but to be fair, I personally think there's a lot of different factors. Obviously, I'm not making excuses, I will tell you. Yeah. But there's a lot of different factors regarding the whole Ollie in, Ollie out thing. I think it's too easy to say Ollie out for me. I'm not one of those Ollie in fans that are deluded in terms of the guy makes mistakes, man. He pissed me off against Sevilla because he didn't bring on subs. Against last game we were poor, very poor. I was disappointed in terms of where we approached the game against last. In the second leg, obviously, I'm referring to. We find it up, and we didn't seem to set the precedent. A lot of games in the latter stages of the season have been poor, to be quite frank with you. And some of which you have to put down to his manner in which he's approached the game. His in-game management is not the greatest. It needs to improve. However, what I will say is it'll be interesting to see what happens when we have one game a week. We've got to remember we've had 5 games in 10 days for as long as I can remember. So we've had a game every 2 days, literally, since lockdowns. Exactly. I'm not using it as an excuse. However, as someone that's done a lot of coaching myself, I think it'll be suicidal if you've got a game every 2 days if you're getting your players to press high up the pitch, because you're going to burn them out. It's just common sense, isn't it?
I think Yeah,
Yeah,
and
sorry,
that's
go
what
on.
happened towards like they got burnt out, and there was no depth in squad for Man United. I mean, there's no quality.
Absolutely.
You're bringing people on like Lingard and James and whatnot, and it's just for me and AP as well. And Andres Pereira. I'm looking at that. I'm thinking, bro, it's not good enough, man. I'm not really wanting to see this next season. And I get what you mean. I'm just looking at Ollie, and I'm just thinking, you really need to be careful, because once you start bringing quality signings, then you're really like
same as Lampard, isn't it? Really, in that sense, you know, if he gets those signings, then you know you've got to judge him based on what he achieves. And I think with Ali, he's very inconsistent with his tactics. I've got to say, like some games, like the Sheffield United Bournemouth games back to back, for example, we look like, you know, for example, the Bournemouth game, we went 1-0 down. I'm one of those fans that, you know, I was not a few the ways, but I'm always off. Here we go again, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But a lot of United fans I spoke to after the game and during the game, they were like, "Oh, we're definitely scoring this game," and that's because of the confidence that he instilled with attacking play that we did in those couple of games. So we had that obviously Sheffield United game we won 3-0, scored very early on twice. The Bournemouth game, and then the Brighton game, we had a bit of a hiccup first 25 minutes. But after we got the first goal, we played good football. So in them 3 games, we played fantastic football. And then literally the 3 games after is completely the polar opposite. Like dire football. Yeah, we got a couple of decent results in them other games as well. But there's no consistency in the football. I don't know if that's down to tactics, down to tight legs, the players, or if he's just... it remains to be seen. You do want to see a bit of consistency in style of play, and that's not what we've seen.
Of course. That's his, like, one thing I'll say. What he's brought in is we now know how to break teams down a little bit more than what we previously used to do. Before lockdown, before it was just everything was just one dimension. It's just one way, and there was no other plan B or plan C. But now with the likes of the players of Rashford and Greenwood and Bruno Fernandes coming into the side, obviously it's added more of a dimension to the United side and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like you said, the inconsistency is a bit of a killer for United, and they don't want to carry that on into next season, man. Because I'm telling you now, if that happens, then it's just going to be a straight plummet down to the bottom, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the last thing we want. I mean, look at where we were. I think towards the end of last year, man, we were out of it, man.
We were 6th, 7th, like 15 points off top 4. Like, it was ridiculous.
There was even a period, if I'm not mistaken, not even 6th or 7th. I think we were like 9th. I remember we were struggling. I was looking at the table. I was thinking, yo, what's going on, brother? We were closer to relegation than we were.
Yeah, I think Arsenal were above us then, innit? A lot of
at that time.
Relegation.
Yeah, exactly.
Worst start in the history of the club, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
as well. So it wasn't great. So just to answer your question regarding if I'm Ollie in, Ollie out, I am currently Ollie in. I do think he's got a lot to improve. I hope he's gone away and done his homework and actually looked had an opportunity to self-reflect. I think that's the most important thing as a coach. You need to be critical with yourself, and hopefully he's done that. But also he needs to manage the squad better as well. You know, you mentioned the lack of squad depth, and I completely echo that sentiment. However, you've got to, the likes of Lingard and players like this, you know, granted, you know, they're not the most technically gifted, but Lingard could do a 30-minute cameo. So can the likes of like Igalo, these kind of players, and you have to make them more a part of the team. It's no point playing the same 11 and saying, "Oh, my second team's not good enough," or my players on the bench are not good enough. We know they're not good enough, but you've got to get the best out of them somehow. You know, you've got to instill them with confidence. You know, Lingard, for example, he's a perfect example of a player on confidence, exceeding his ability or his ceiling. You know, we know by his purple patch, you know, a couple of seasons ago, you know, that wasn't because his technical ability was X, Y, and Z. It was because he was full of confidence. He knew everything that he hit was going into top bin. So we need to get that out of the players, you know, by hook or by crook. You know, at the end of the day, he has to do that. It doesn't look like we're going to sign a lot of players. So you know, you can sit there and sulk about the lack of squad depth, or you can try and get the best out of these players, which is what Fergie was an absolute. Obviously, can't compare him to Fergie, but Fergie was an absolute goal. It was his bread and butter, wasn't it?
It's the difference with Fergie was that he was very shrewd and smart with his signings. Yeah. So you notice that when Fergie was signing players, he'd never really go abroad. He'd always sign the players that was in the league that he knew that he could say, "Ah, cool, I'm going to develop him and do whatever." Like the likes of players like we're linked with, like, you know, David Brooks and whatnot. I look at that and I think, bro, that's someone that Fergie would have signed if we were at the top and we were doing what we were doing. Yeah, I'm going to bring him in and filling him with confidence. But bringing someone like David Brooks now, and then when I've seen the rumors like it was an alternative for Sancho, I don't want that. If you're bringing David Brooks and Sancho, If you're bringing David Brooks and Sancho, that's great, cool.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
depth. Do you understand what I'm saying? But
yeah, I agree.
Be looking for alternatives. Like, I've seen David Brooks. I'm seeing Douglas Costa. Bruv, I don't want to hear all that. Costa is about what? How old? Just going to turn 30?
I don't care how old he is. I don't want that guy at all, man. Can't stand him.
Man. 10 goals in like, I think it was like 10 or 15 goals in like 100.
Didn't he spit on a player? Didn't he spit on someone as well recently? Not so long ago.
I think that was like last season. I thought,
he's an absolute tramp for that.
No,
I love that.
I'm not going to lie. I don't want players that are going to come in the club and just be... Again, that's one thing I'll give Ollie, yeah. He's brought players in that want to play for the club. And that's one thing where United was really, moving
struggling
crazy.
with,
They were bringing players just for the sake of it, like your Sanchez's. They don't really want to play for the club. They're just there for the money. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We want players that were going to play and fight for the badge, bruv, and take United back to the level that they were before. None of this rubbish where, I'm just playing for the sake of it. Nah, I ain't got time for that, man. And fair play to him where he's trying to get rid of the dead wood and whatnot. But he needs to be really careful and think about it. And hopefully the board can back him. And I don't want him to do bad. I want him to prove everyone wrong.
Yeah.
And be successful at Manchester United. But obviously it's frustrating. People don't like to wait and be patient. But it's just a waiting game, man. Things don't happen overnight, man. You're not gonna get to Liverpool Man City stage in the next season. It's gonna take time, bruv. Especially if United are not really signing, man. Unfortunately, it's just one of them things, isn't it? And like I said, he's got to put the confidence in the players that are within the squad and integrate them, not just as, you're just there, but just for the sake of integrate them as in you're part of this. We're all one. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I get exactly where you're coming from, man. It's frustrating, man.
Regarding that, it's going to take time. Look, first and foremost, I understand the frustration with United fans. It's been a long time that we've not been challenging, we've not been competing. I think we kind of put that on Ollie. I think a lot of United fans I've spoken to said, look, we haven't put X, Y, and Z for 7-8 years or whatever it may be. But look, that's got nothing to do with Ollie. He's not been in charge for that long. He's been in charge for a year and I don't know, 3/4 of a year, so to speak, coming to 2 years or whatever it is. Yeah. But, at the end of the day, we do need to be patient, but at the same time, it's important that Ollie does show. I think the main thing for fans, Ryan, I'll be honest with you, is a lot of fans just want to see good football, especially at United at the moment. Because we've had Jose, we've had Van Gaal, that was absolutely the ball fest. Yeah. We're not going to mention the guy before, but I should not be named than that. But I think that's what it is. I think a lot of United fans will be a lot more lenient if we see good football consistent. Like I mentioned, it's very inconsistent. After the Bournemouth game, okay, granted, the result was the most important thing, but the high that the fans had, because we hadn't seen us play that good football in the longest time. Even against Sevilla, a lot of United fans was frustrated, but a lot of that wasn't directed at Ollie, it was directed with the players. So we had enough chance to beat them 5-1, 6-1 on another day. But that's football, man. These things happen. And regarding the taking time, the analogy I always use is, Rome wasn't built in a day, man. It takes time. You've got to build the foundations up. He's built the first foundation, which of course is securing top 4. The board now have to build a second foundation, which is backing him and giving him plays. And then the third foundation is potentially him going again and, winning a trophy. I think that a lot of fans will give him a lot of sort of leeway if he brings the trophy home and gets the top 4 position. And then he can go again from there and challenge and so forth.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, trophy, again, I know I said I didn't really like Europa, but it's true. Trophy does add confidence to players. Once they get a sniff of that, they want more, man. And I guess we do need to give him time. And like you said, Rome wasn't built in a day, and so it's just one of them things. And United fans, just hold on tight. Hopefully, we do set. I don't think United are going to be that stupid and not sign anyone during this window. I'm touching wood right now. I'm going to touch wood. Pause. You guys that said I'm touching wood, relax. You know what I'm saying? Touch wood. I think United are gonna sign some players. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But in terms of that, no, I think it's gonna be an interesting season. It can go either way. We just have to look at the transfers later on and see how it all progresses. But yeah, did you watch the Champions League final?
Yeah, I missed. I've watched the highlights of the first half. I missed the first half actually. I've seen the highlights now, so I've seen how many chances they've missed. PSG. Second half was a bit cagey until Bayern scored, really. But the first half, man, how many chances PSG won? Listen, Mbappe had to score. Neymar had a chance. I think he was on his left foot, if I'm not mistaken. But Mbappe's one, the one that gets caught back to him. You expected him to score that.
That's what I was thinking. I thought, yeah, that's it. 1-0. Honestly, they had so much chances. I thought, yeah, 2-0, 3-0. That's it. It's game over. But they never took their chances, and you get punished for that, especially against Bayern right now, who are literally on the
Ruthless.
form of their lives right now. And I think I praised her Flick as well. I mean, he come in December, did his thing.
Madness, and what he's
and it was
achieved.
just crazy. And you know, the transformation. I think Bayern were fourth in the league.
They were fourth. Yeah,
they were out of it, man. And for them to come back and then win treble this season, man. Honestly, fair play to them. And to add to even think that they just that's without Sané, and Sané's joining obviously next season.
Mad.
It's scary, man. And then you got the likes of, I think, the Thiago one. I'm a bit afraid if Thiago
I think he's gone to Liverpool, mate.
You see, oh Jesus!
Why are we not signing him, by the way? Because is any Man United fans watching this? Can you please let me know why we're not going for £30 million Thiago?
You know how cheap that is.
That is an absolute joke. How cheap that is. Imagine him, Pogba, and Bruno in midfield, mate.
Oh, that's
illegal, bro. That's illegal.
When I see that, and I'm like, Thiago, one of the coldest midfielders about, yeah. And I'm just thinking, if he goes Liverpool, we are doomed, bruv, because that midfield is going to be a joke. And I think, I'm looking at that, I think I saw a thing of Ronald Koeman, obviously, who's the new Barcelona manager. I think he wants to bring in Wijnaldum, innit? Obviously, because he knows more about Wijnaldum.
I think it's Van der Beek as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and Dutch. Again, there's another player that we're linked to as well. The Dutch players, for me, if he brings them to Barcelona, he could add and change. That could be a start of something.
But he's already got De Jong, hasn't he? So he's obviously going for full Dutch midfield, innit? So
he's got De Jong. Wijnaldum's, I think this is last year of his contract.
I think. Has he not signed a new one? I thought there was speculation that he was going to sign a contract.
Yeah, but it hasn't been confirmed. It hasn't been confirmed that he signed. Okay. And that's where I think what Liverpool are doing is they're analysing, and I think they should really snap up on this Thiago thing if they really want him. Don't wait for Wijnaldum, because...
Allow Wijnaldum anyways, man. He's a good player, don't get me wrong. I think he's an unsung hero for him, and I genuinely believe that.
Yeah.
But Thiago is on another level. Like, exactly. Top 5 for me in the world, man. I'm not even
he is ridiculous, man. And don't wait on Wijnaldum. Go for Thiago regardless, man. Because if you go for him, I'm not even going to lie, Liverpool will end up probably winning the league again, bro. Just a crucial signing like that, it's a joke, man.
I'm surprised Pep's not gone for him, because obviously, he's had him at Barca. I think he brought him through the academy. I don't know if that's right now, but
I think you are right. I think you are right.
And then, did he have him at Bayern as well? I'm not sure.
Yeah, he had Thiago at Bayern.
There goes, had them both.
I think when you had Thiago at Bayern, there was a period where Thiago was injured for quite some time.
Yeah, he was injured for a long time.
But when he did use him, Jesus Christ, man, that guy was honestly...
That's what I mean. He'd be perfect. He's a lot of United fans. I had Aaron on our podcast not so long ago, and Aaron got so much hate in the comments because people were like, he's not. He was saying he's a CDM, and myself and Saeed were like, yeah, he's a CDM, and Flores was saying it as well.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were like, he's not. How is he a CDM? And we like, he plays in a 2-man pivot with Goretzka, because I watch a lot of Aaron's from Germany actually, but I watched a lot of Bayern this season, and a lot of fans was just like giving him a lot of hate for it. But then obviously everyone knows now he's a DM, and then for me personally, Man City, they need someone to replace David Silva anyways. I know they signed a couple of players, but Thiago is just he's top tier, man. I don't understand why more people are in for him.
Do you know what it is? I think again, I'm gonna use the model. I think Thiago's 29. The likes of Liverpool, they don't really, how their model is completely different. Signing players of that age is a bit of a worry for them, especially spending that money of 30 million on a 29-year-old. However, what I would say to that is that put the age aside, but just look at the quality the guy can produce, bro. And that.
Well, Aubameyang's 32 or something. Lewandowski's 32. You're telling me you wouldn't sign them if you got an opportunity?
I'd sign him in a heartbeat.
Exactly, that's what I mean, man. This age thing is getting ridiculous now, man, I think.
But again, these clubs, that's the model, innit? Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. They like to sign players who are younger than a certain age and then groom them and then make sure that they become the player that they can become. But there's no harm in signing a player who's just won a flipping treble at Bayern and he's at the peak of his career. Bro, I'm taking that. He's got
at least 2-3 years. Look at Toni Kroos, man. A lot of people said he's done whatever it was.
It's like fine wine, bro.
Exactly, that's what I mean, man. Those players, they go for a long time, man. They're quality.
Modric, them sort of midfield players, they grow into age. That's why I'm looking at that. And I remember last, I think someone said, Pogba's career is finished. He's this and that. Bro, I'm just waiting for the years where, I mean, how old is Pogba? 27? I'm just waiting for the years.
27, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the years where now he starts to mature and you're like, oh, shit, man, fuck. We still got Pogba and he's producing what he can produce, innit? I'm just waiting for them days. Hopefully he can just start producing now. But no, going back to Thiago, Liverpool fans, if you, man, are listening to this and watching us, we are Man United fans, yeah? And we are urging you. We are urging your club.
I'm not urging no club to sign him, bro. Keep it well away from your club. Don't sign him. Don't sign him.
Listen, we are. I'm not gonna. He's not gonna co-sign that, yeah. But what I am saying is that if your club does not go for Thiago, then I don't know what on earth is going on there, bro.
The 30 million is not a lot, man. It's euros as well. So what's that, like 27, 25 M's? Like in this day and age, it's not a lot for a player of his caliber. Just say he's got 4 years. I still think he's worth 50 million easy.
Exactly. So when I'm seeing 30 million, I'm like, bro, and it looks like I think he's the his team saying he wants to join Liverpool as well. So
yeah, a lot of speculations from Romano, as you know, he's like the most credible person out there. Yeah, he said that he wants to join Liverpool. It's whether Liverpool want to pay the money. Apparently they don't, man. Just sell some of your players, deadwood players, man. Buy him. Like, come on, man. What are you doing? Like, it's a no-brainer for me.
I don't understand what's going on over there, man. Just sign the player. Let's do what you got to do. What do you think about Pep? Do you think Pep? Because I keep saying this, my boy's gonna laugh.
It's a fraud. I'm joking. I was going to kill me. There's no Man City fans anyway, so they're not going to give me any shit.
No, they
don't exist in it. First and foremost, regarding Pep, I think my sort of thing with Pep is he's always needed money. Like, he never can solve a problem with his coaching. Like, and I'm not saying that you can't, but I think people need to realize he spent 400 million on defense. Like 400 million quid on a defense. The amount of people that go on about Maguire's with X, Y, Z. Okay, granted, yeah, he's worth a lot of money. He's not worth that money. He should have like 50 million max, 60 million, whatever. But Pep spent 400 million on defense that still can't defend. John Stones was 50 million. God knows how much you paid on Otamendi, probably like 40 million. He didn't have like Mangala or whatever his name was. I forgot his name.
Mangala as well.
He was like 40 million or something stupid as well.
To be fair, Mangala was under Pellegrini.
Yeah, but like they've had so many players and they're just throwing money at it. They bought Bravo for 35 M's. They replaced him somehow. Obviously, Everton's been absolutely fantastic. But he spent so much money, and we've got to take into context he has won the league back to back. He won the treble last season.
Are we gonna call that a treble? Are we gonna call that a treble?
What was it? Was it FA Cup, League Cup?
It was FA Cup, League, and Carabao Cup, and Community Shield. They call it a
quadruple, whatever you want to call it. It is where it is, isn't it? But he obviously did a lot. He did well last season and the season before, so I don't know overreact here. It's only one season that he's not doing it, but it's just like he needs to do more. It'll be interesting to see what happens now, because this is the first time he's had to rebuild the team properly. He normally buys one or two players here and there to rebuild. He's done already. But this team needs more than one or two players. Aguero's on his way out as well. Of course, they've got rid of David Silva. They're not ready to replace Company properly. Aki for Companies, like, that's unbelievable.
Do you think Aki? I mean, that's two. I think that's two left.
I forgot about the sign. I forgot they signed him for a second. I'm not gonna lie.
It's just I'm just looking at that. I'm thinking.
But they got John Stones as well. They got Garcia. I know he wants to go back to Barca, but
yeah, I just look at Pep and I think, like you said, 400 million on defense, and it's just like, all right, cool. What have you got to show for it? Like you said, back-to-back league titles, great. But you know what, Usman? Yeah, let's be real, man. This is
part of the Champions League as well, bro. This
is what I'm saying, man.
Again against Lyon. Come on.
This is on paper. Yeah, you're looking at that, and I spoke about this last week, and some people agree, some people thought, oh, I think you're being a bit harsh, but I'm not. You spent how much? Yeah, Lyon, right? Lyon, French side, right? That everyone calls, oh, this is the farmer.
They finished eighth
or seventh. Yeah,
something stupid like that. Yeah,
and you, man, are supposedly one of the greatest footballing sides that we've ever seen, and you, man, lose 3-1 to Man City. I mean, to Lyon. Sorry, Man City lose 3-1 to Lyon, and you're telling me that's nice. Okay, 3 years on a spin, quarterfinals in the Champions League.
It's not good enough for them.
Come, bro. he hasn't won Champions League without Messi. I'll put it there. Done.
Literally. Listen, I know, first and foremost, right, a lot of people slightly saying, you know, Man Utd or semi-final, but whatever it may be. Well, City can't even get to the semi-final. So first and foremost, you know, at least get to the Champions League anyways. You know, at the end of the day, what have they done with that team? Like, that Lyon team, they should be slapping them comfortably. Like, look at the way next one's dispatched to them. I suppose Bayern, it was a close game against Bayern. On another day, Lyon, if they took the chances, you know, it could have been a tight game. But I just think it's poor from Pep. You know, I think that's the only criticism you can put against him. Apart from that, in the league, he has been fantastic. You know, this season, Liverpool were unbelievably good, so it can't be too harsh on him.
I'm not going to be too harsh, but I just feel like
it's disappointing. Though. I know a lot of, like I was going to say, I know a lot of Bayern fans actually from work and stuff. So a couple of guys like German lads, and they were saying when Pep was there, they weren't happy with Pep, man. He was just overcomplicating things. Lampard CDM, he was just faffing about, moving players for no reason, and he did the same against Lyon. Why did he play 5 at the back? You know, and again, I know a couple of Man City fans at work, and this even yesterday we were talking about it. And they're still perplexed. It just doesn't make sense. Mahrez on the bench. Like,
why would you do that?
I've been buying Mahrez a fancy football, but this guy's flipping subs him out. I buy De Bruyne, subs him out. Like, make your mind up, man. Why do you keep changing the team? Man? It's honestly, so annoying.
One thing I'll say, is I'm always scared to touch Man City players on FPL.
I'm not buying one to see. I'm not buying one now. I just left. Even not even De Bruyne. I thought, no, he might get some down, so I'll allow it.
It's just so annoying, man. Pep, come on, just stop, man. But I don't know.
Too much, man.
I just feel like I keep saying it. My boy's gonna laugh at it. I keep saying it. I feel like could be his last season. I said it last season. It didn't happen. I just thought.
But I genuinely thought this could be his last season as well because of the ban and stuff.
Yeah,
obviously, that's another story. But I think he potentially might leave because, like I said, he needs to rebuild. They need to replace Aguero. I'm surprised he didn't go for Werner. I'm not gonna lie. I thought Werner would have been a good acquisition for them. They need a striker, you know, Haaland potentially. You don't
have belief in Jesus, no?
I've never rated him. I've genuinely never rated him. I know. He's to be fair to him, he's done well as an understudy off late. I think he's done quite well, but he's not even. You can't even lace Aguero's boots, to be honest with you, man. He's not good enough for Man City. Look at the other players that got behind him. You know, the likes of De Bruyne, obviously Bernardo Silva, these kind of players, Mahrez. He's not on their level, is he? He's a good player, don't get me wrong, as a second option. But
you're not the first person to say
he's just a good player. He's like, I'm trying to see who I can compare him to without being disrespectful, but
it's one of them ones I feel like maybe it's because Aguero set the standard so high for.
But that's what you expect from Man City, though. They need a player like someone. Obviously, they're not going to get Lewandowski, but like someone of that ilk. You know, that's who's a bagsman.
If I was Man City, I wouldn't. I can't believe I'm saying this, but if I was Man City, I think Raiola already come out. He said, we'll see what happens with this with Haaland. Yeah, if he's saying that right now in his first year at Dortmund, right, then I'll just go all out and splash the cash on Haaland.
Yeah, I think they should go for Haaland or Mobile, one of them two, like unbelievably good players.
Just go and splash. Well, if they do that, then we're in serious trouble for the rest of it.
We're in trouble anyway, man. Let's be real, innit? Come on, we ain't competing with these teams, man. I was saying to my boy who's a Chelsea fan, right? I know you're gonna ask me what's your season prediction or what early season prediction, whatever. Yeah. And I said we're only playing for one spot. We can't get third because Chelsea are way better than us as it stands. We can't get second or first for obvious reasons. We're playing for fourth place. Us, Arsenal, Spurs. Leicester, Wolves, that's 5 teams off the top of my head. You know, you could maybe there might be another team that might surprise us. We don't know.
I'm looking at Leeds, you know, and I'm thinking.
Well, Bielsa's obviously a fantastic coach. So that's 5 teams fighting for fourth spot. Because for me personally, as it stands, there's no way any team should be above Chelsea, Man City, or Liverpool. You know, wherever order them 3 have to be top 3 for me. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens this season. But yeah, I just think at the moment, as it stands, it's just. Man City do need to strengthen, but we're nowhere near any of them teams at the moment.
No, we're you're right. You're absolutely right. We're nowhere near them teams, and we just gotta be raw with it, man.
But Man City have signed 2 players, man. They were 15, 20 points above us. They've signed 2 players. Liverpool are going to sign 2 players, and they were about 40 points above us. Chelsea, same points as us. Come the end of the week, they would have signed 5. So everyone
Arsenal who finished was signing 2, well, more or less, I think they've signed.
Spurs have signed Højbjerg. Obviously, you can say what you want about him, but he'll still offer balance to that team.
I think that's a good. I think
Leicester apparently get Tagliafico, by the way. What's that about? Why are we not paying for him?
Look, I've got a notification now on my phone. Thiago Silva to Chelsea's done, bruv.
Yeah, I just seen it on the top. Yeah,
I'm just thinking, like, again, I looked at, like we said earlier, Thiago Silva playing in the back three. Well, big up Chelsea, man. We are right now. I'm looking at it, I'm thinking we are doomed.
I think he might struggle. I'm not gonna lie. He's look, he's world class. Don't get me wrong, and one of my favorite centre backs of all time. I proper love him, especially on FIFA. What a guy! But like, in terms of he's 35, obviously Man United couldn't sign him because we can't have two slow players like Maguire. Oh my God.
No way.
So for Chelsea, it is a good acquisition in terms of experience. They got a lot of young talent. Tomori for me is the future of Chelsea in terms of defence. I proper rate him. I think he's quality.
Yeah, I think so.
Whether he gets a shout, it's a different story. But he'll be good for them.
Heard he's going on loan.
Tomori is.
Yeah, I heard he's going on loan.
That's interesting. So that's surprising. I would have played him, boys.
That's what I'm saying. No, I think he's right because I know there was a period where he wasn't even playing tomorrow. I was like, I don't know why.
He started playing and obviously scored that banger, didn't he? And
was it? What was it?
It was like 4 yards. I don't know who was it. Can't remember who was against. 4 yards, top left corner.
Yeah.
But he got injured obviously in it. But yeah, just regarding the Thiago Silva thing, look, fair play to Chelsea. Like I said, I think it's a good signing, but there's a strong chance he might get exposed. To be honest. Because, he's 35, he's going to be touching 36. So we'll see what happens in it. He's an experienced player, so I'm assuming he'll be able to adjust.
Big up Chelsea, man. United, please, if Glazers, if you're watching this podcast, which you probably won't, but I'm just putting it out there, man. For the love of God, man, just please save our skin, save our dignity, save our pride, save our... Please.
The season starts in 3 weeks, bro, man.
Can you imagine, man? Come on.
3 weeks, bro. 3 weeks. Imagine that. Obviously, I know our guys are on holiday and rightfully so, but 3 weeks. I'm seeing a lot of contrasting things on Twitter. Like some United fans saying, "Oh, you mans are overreacting." Other United fans are like they're almost on death row, like the way they're acting. Their mans are like ready to kill themselves and shit. So there's no in between. Where do you sit with that? Like, where are you? Are you like you're at the point that I'm done with this bloody club, or you're like, oh no, people need to shut out a bit.
I'm not done with United. I'm not. You know what it is? I've come to a point now where I just sit and watch from the wings, and I just hope and pray because I love this club. I'm sure you do as well, innit? Yeah. As much as we, stress and go mad and whatnot amongst ourselves, I just hope and pray. And look, for last season, I hoped and prayed, and we finished third. I'm gonna do the same again, and I'm gonna run with it.
Bro, whatever you're praying for is working, man. Well, you keep praying, bro. You keep praying.
Keep working.
That was a miracle as well, by the way. So, yo, you got some strong praise up there, man.
I'll put my hands up. United should not have finished third, bro.
Oh, yeah. No.
But, it's there. It's on the table. Take it or leave it. It is what it is. You can cry your tears. Yeah. But at the end of the day, no, I'm not done with United. I just feel I'm just disappointed and whatnot. Just sign players, man. You know what you need. If you really want to back Holly.
We've known for a while, man. I think that's why United fans are peed off because look, this Sancho thing's almost gone on for a month now, a whole month, So
I know
we saw the same with Maguire, we saw the same with Bissaka. It took a month, and at the end of the day, they paid the money. So why you paid 80 million for Maguire? So you're telling me you can't put an extra 20 million on top of that and buy Sancho?
Because obviously they want to do installments, innit? So
it's not going to happen, bro. They've said Dortmund have said it. It's like the way. This is what I think, right? And this is why it's so ridiculous. And it's like almost like we've got double standards here. We have been saying to Real Madrid, give us 150 million for Pogba or piss off, basically. That's what we've said. We've not changed our stance. Pogba's situation in terms of contract is exactly the same as Sancho. Exactly the same. There's no difference. So why is it when it's another player, when the other team are doing the same stance against us, we seem to find it ridiculous. We've been doing it for about 3 years with Pogba, which is into De Gea as well. We're just getting a bit of our own medicine. But at the end of the day, they don't have to sell Sancho. They don't need to do us a favour and drop the money. And if this is another example that I would say to, if I ever met Woodward or whoever's in charge of sanctioning this deal, if Rashford was for sale, would you sell him for 60 million? No, you wouldn't. Would you sell him for 80 million? No, you wouldn't. You'd sell him for 100 million. They'd probably say 130 million for Rashford. And is Sancho better than Rashford? As it currently stands, Sancho's better. Real talk.
100,
So
100, yeah.
you can't say, oh, we want 130. Obviously, they do not put price on Rashford, but if I'm guessing, they'd say 120 million as well for Rashford. So you can't not justify paying that when you're probably going to ask for the same money if somebody comes in for Rashford. So it just swings and roundabouts. At the end of the day, if you want the player, pay the money. You know, Chelsea are paying 90 million for Havertz. The fans don't give a shit how much to pay. They just want the quality player in there.
They're buzzing, bro. They're buzzing.
Exactly, bro. And rightfully so. The guy's an absolute quality talent. You know, Werner, they paid 50 million. Okay, that was a bargain. Ziyech, bargain. But at the end of the day, sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet. You bought the bullet with Maguire, and this guy arguably is going to be more influential, like I've already said at the start of the show.
Yeah.
This is the future of our club for the next 10 years, potentially, with them three, you know, the English three, and obviously Martial, you know, in terms of their age, they can be together for 5 years and be like have a dynasty if you do it properly.
True. No, I'm with you.
They're businessmen, man. Look at it in a business perspective.
They really need, they you know what? They need to look at it because they love selling shirts, everything. They need to look at it.
Number 7, bro. Say no more.
Just go for it. Just do what you gotta do. There's a reason. I'm still gonna say, I'm gonna put my neck on the line. Yeah. I'm gonna say United are still gonna sign Sancho this window. I know it's a big stretch. They got rid of Sanchez finally. The seven shirts available. I'm sure they wouldn't make it available if it wasn't for this scenario or whatnot.
Of course.
I'm just gonna put it out there. Like you said, it took a month for the Wan-Bissaka deal.
It's coming up to a month next week, man. So hopefully they're just dealing months. And I'll take it.
You understand what I'm saying? It is what it is. So I'm just gonna be hopeful, and I'm just gonna say United will sign. They'll sign a few players before the window.
The transfer window does end, come in October. But so that means we'll probably start doing a deal first day of October, and so we'll waste the whole of September and the remainder of August. And you know what it is? We're not what it is. It's like when you used to be at university or whatever, or for those of you that's at university, I'll do this time and I'll do this time. I got 2 weeks. It's calm, and I got 2 weeks, man. It's not that long.
It's calm.
Comes the night before. You know what? Shit,
I gotta do this, man. Yo.
Legit, man. That's Woodward, man. He's just like Josh King on Della. They know this.
Right. It's true. Look, listen. We just have to hope and pray. But
stop stalling, bro, man. Get it done.
Look, Glazers, fucking get this shit done, man. Pay up, man. We can't be sleeping on this thing, man. Real talk. But
man.
Before we wrap up, man, top 4 predictions straight out the blocks. What are we saying, man? Next season, bro.
Right. Okay. Can we just clarify the date? I haven't got my. What's the date today? Sorry.
Today is the 24th of August.
Right, I'm only just putting that out because someone's going to clip this up, otherwise I want me and you to violate us. So it's the 24th of August. We've not signed anyone. Chelsea have signed 5 players. Arsenal signed a couple. Anyways, just take that into context. So in terms of the league, it's difficult to assess. I don't know. It depends on the Thiago thing. I think if Liverpool do get Thiago and they can keep the place fit, it depends on if Van Dijk gets injured. I'm not going to lie. It's as simple as that for me. If Van Dijk gets injured, it could be they're going to have to play Matip, or Lovren, whoever's still there, and they absolutely.
Lovren's gone. No, Lovren's gone.
Oh, Lovren gone. Is it Matip still there? Matip's all right, but obviously it's not Van Dijk. I think, based on the way Man City are moving, I think they're going to just try and buy the league. So for that reason, I think they'll win it. Because he's going to just buy another 5 players or something stupid. Basically what Real Madrid did last year with all the additions that they got. So for that reason, I think Man City are going to strengthen way more than Liverpool. It doesn't look like they're going to spend that much. So I'm going to go Man City first, Liverpool second. And as I mentioned earlier, again, as it stands, Chelsea have signed 5 quality players. Yeah. Well, we say quality. Havertz is on his way tomorrow, I think. So I'm going to have to put Chelsea third. They're obviously going to be close to the top 2, I'd say. If not challenging, otherwise I think Lampard might be in trouble. For 4th place, so Arsenal obviously currently 8th. The thing is with Arsenal, right, is Saliba and Gabriel are both, like you mentioned, young centre-backs. Bellerin, for me, personally, hasn't been fantastic. I really rate Tierney. I think he's quality. I'm not sure why more people didn't go for him. I think he's a very good left-back, so I rate him. In terms of midfield, they need a couple of players that to really be pushing for top 4. It's hard to say. I want to put Man United in there, to be honest, but as it stands, if we get 1 or 2 injuries, we in Kane top 4. If Pogba just happens speaking, we'll say Pogba. If Pogba gets injured, I don't know actually if we say this, but if Pogba and Martial get injured, for God forbid, Lord have mercy in it. Yeah, exactly. James or Lingard's playing on the left, Rashford's up top. It's hard to put us fourth, but I'm just gonna have to put us fourth at the moment because there's nobody else that's really signed anyone. So I'm just gonna say Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Manchester United. Not confident on Man United, but
I'm not confident. I'm with you. I think I'm gonna agree with you on that top four. I'm gonna say it because I'm gonna carry on praying, and I'm gonna hope that we get that top four. You know what I'm saying? But no, I'm with you. I think Arsenal will be pushing for that top four as well, but I think it will be.
But we've got a long way to go. We've got 6 weeks, so a lot can change.
Yeah, of course. A lot can change. I'm gonna be asking the same question because things are gonna change week in, week out.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm just saying it now. Relegation wise.
Oh wow! I've not thought about relegation at all.
Relegation. I always it's interesting because I always put it out there and I want to see who's there. You know what?
I'm looking teams out there. Yeah, if I'm going for relegation,
if I'm looking at that, I'm just gonna look. I'm gonna say. I don't want to say No, do you know what? I won't say Southampton. I'll say. I know Fulham are definitely down. I think Fulham are going back down. I think Fulham.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think Fulham will go back down. I think the likes of. I think West Brom will survive. But the likes of
everyone else says Brighton, don't they? They always tend to do well.
You know what? Brighton. I think Dunk signed. I honestly, Brighton. I always said it on the podcast. Brighton very good football, and somehow, some way, they just managed to get out of that. But
it always helps when they're playing Arsenal. 2 times a season, they get 6 points in it.
They get 6 points out of there. Hey, Arsenal fans, you're not gonna be happy with this one. No, I'm gonna put my neck on the line. I'm gonna say Fulham, Southampton, and West Brom.
Wow, I'm not going to agree with Southampton at all.
Yeah, I know.
If Ings stays fit, no chances they get relegated. I don't think they will.
I only said
and he's done well with them as well. He's done well with them, I think, in the last... He started terribly, obviously got a slap. What was it, 7 or 9-1? What was it, 9-1?
9-0, Leicester.
No, was it 9-0? You're raw, I gave him a goal, 9-0, oh yeah, it wasn't it, of course, fancy football points. So,
as well, yeah.
I don't think Southampton will get relegated, sorry. But then in saying what I said with Man United, hypothetically speaking, again, God forbid, if Ings does get injured, then you feel the worst for him, really, innit? Because he's carrying them. So I suppose it's not that of an outlandish statement, depending on his fitness. I'm going to say Fulham. I'm going to be honest, guys, I don't know. But I'm just plucking names out. I'm only going to say Fulham because they were absolutely shocking last time they came up. So it'll be interesting to see how they go. Mitch obviously still there. Yeah. So hopefully he does all right. I was going to say West Brom. I don't massively rate them. I think Leeds will stay up. I'm going to say Fulham, West Brom. I think Newcastle might be in trouble.
Whoa.
I know they finished really well. I know people probably think that's a bit ridiculous.
They just signed Hendricks as well.
Yeah, I know from Burnley. So he's obviously on a free. So he's obviously not a bad addition. But I just think it's going to be they're bound to go down at some point because their board are taking the piss. We talk about our board. Their board is an absolute joke. Absolute joke. Sometimes we got to be grateful for what we do have.
I'm grateful. Whole time Newcastle.
I forget sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, but Newcastle, mate, that board is an absolute joke. So I'm not confident on the third one. Palace might be in there as well if Zaha leaves as well.
Yeah.
The speculation that Zaha might be going to Dortmund apparently.
I saw that. I thought he should go Europe. I thought he could go.
He needs to go, man. I know. Apparently they're not going to let him go, but I just think it's an absolute embarrassment from the club. He's been there for so long, man. Just allow him to. He's not gonna. He just wants to play Champions League or Europa League
or Europa League or something. Yeah, man.
He deserves it, man. He's been a good servant for you guys. So I think Palace might be in the mix if he goes. As we know,
I forgot about Palace. Yeah.
I'm just gonna chuck Palace in there, but Palace fans are gonna kill me anyway. So I'll just go. I'm gonna go Palace, West Brom, and Fulham. I'll be honest with you guys for no particular reason, but it is what it is.
Bruv, Usmaan, it's been a pleasure, man. I'm gonna put everyone. I'm gonna make sure you are on the links below. Plug your channel out, man. Plug your channel, man. Let everyone know where to find you at, man.
Yeah, so it's Usmaan with 2 A's, Talks United. Obviously, the boys from Beeks Corner are going to be featuring very soon as well. Obviously, we've already spoken about this, so you can catch him on the channel as well. Basically, we just talk nonsense about Man United. It's just all podcasts, you know, some audience, some early out. Some guys are just deluded, some guys aren't. I want to mention their names because they'll kill me there. But, you know what I mean? Can't be calling names out. But listen, if you love United content, by all means, we literally upload it every single day, sometimes twice a day. So yeah, check us out by all means.
Trust me, guys, this guy's work rate high, man, high. So United fans, even if you're not a United fan, man, go check them out, man. Them boys, lovely guys, man. Their content is strong. Yeah, man, go check them out. Like you said, Usmaan with 2 A's, Talks United. I'm going to put the link below, and I'm just going to tell everyone to subscribe below. But yeah, catch him on Twitter as well. He's on Twitter, I think, was it Usmaan Talks United as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and yeah, man, you're on Instagram as well, because I followed you the other day as well, isn't it?
Yeah, same. It's literally same on all
Everything's
socials.
the same. But yeah, it is what it is, man. And obviously for me, catch me on the socials at Beeks Corner, which for Instagram.
Make sure he hasn't said it as well. Make sure you subscribe to his channel as well and drop a like, man.
Yeah,
we gotta help out the other United fans, man. Build a community in that.
Come on, man. We got to keep subscribing, man. Make sure you
subscribe.
It's
free to subscribe, man.
Free to subscribe, man. Come on,
exactly.
Keep subscribing, bro. Exactly, man. But yeah, Beeks Corner is for Instagram. Beeks_Corner is for Twitter. And yeah, man, subscribe to YouTube. Beeks Corner, we're everywhere, man. We keep pushing it. But yeah, Usmaan, it's been a pleasure, man. Thank you.
Thank you, bro, for having me, man.
Honestly, man. I appreciate it so much. But yeah, it's your boy Beeks, and we're signing out. Peace.